It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, and you haven't crocheted any gifts. But good thing you're here to watch this video that I'm filming right now. That was improv, but you can tell. Don't be too impressed. Hello, if you're new here, I'm Carla. I post cozy vlogs about my life in London, crochet content, and cultural commentary videos about sustainability, fast fashion, all of that good stuff. So if you're interested in any of that, please do subscribe. We're posting 3 times a week in December. Not exactly Vlogmas, but almost Vlogmas. We actually reached 2,500 subscribers recently, which I'm so proud of. I know it's small, like this is a really small channel, but if you have been supporting me, it genuinely means so much to me. And if you do end up liking this video and you want to subscribe, please do consider it because we have a good time over here, you know? And let me know what crochet gifts you're working on this month because we all need inspiration in the comments. Also ask me who made my sweater. I'm changing up the backdrop a little bit for this video. We haven't unlocked this angle really, I don't think. 1, because I wanted the Christmas fireplace in the background, and 2, because I didn't feel like grabbing my tripod. Anyways, I've already done a crochet Christmas gifts video last year and this year, and there's also even a last minute gifts video from last year, but if you want to watch the most recent one, it'll be up here. And a lot of those are really small projects because my criteria for a crochet Christmas gift is that it's not too much work for the crocheter themselves. But this video is going to be specifically gifts that you can do if you've kind of been procrastinating crocheting things for your loved ones this holiday festive season. So here are your best friends for making actual last minute gifts. Chunky yarn, chunky hook, simple shapes, and of course, your creativity. With these 4 things, I think there were 4, you are actually going to be able to finish these gifts very quickly. And I think as crocheters or crafty people, we feel a lot of pressure to be like, I need to make them the most impressive gift in the whole world. But that's really not the case. Handmade gifts are such a rarity, and I think we underestimate how special they are when we're used to making things ourselves. Okay, first up are scrunchies. Everyone loves scrunchies right now. They can work with any hair type, obviously. And in my opinion, these chunky ones are really cute. And of course, because you're using chunky yarn, they're going to be even faster to make. There are tons of free patterns and videos, but it's basically just crocheting around a hairband for a long time. Maybe doing some increases if you want to, but if you just keep going, it's gonna get all squiggly and scrunched up because of the elastic. You can do this with scrap yarn, you can do a solid color with a border of 1 contrasting stitch. You can do mohair if you have a bit more time on your hands because it's still a really small project. And I just think this is the perfect gift. It's kind of giving this sort of Scandinavian, East London type aesthetic. Next are ear warmers or headbands. I mentioned this in my last video, but honestly, if you just crochet a rectangle, ideally in a ribbing stitch so it can be a bit stretchier to fit anyone's head since you obviously won't be measuring their head. This is such an easy project. You could whip it out in 30 minutes, I bet, especially with the chunky yarn. And in my opinion, they kind of look cutest in the chunky yarn with a contrasting red or white stitch. I know Jenna Phipps, back when she used to do crochet videos, RIP, she definitely made some really cute ones. Maybe they were knitted though, I don't know. Oh, I forgot to mention that there will be a Pinterest board of all of these ideas, either inspiration pics or actual free patterns in the description box of the video. If the person you're making this for is into headbands, you don't have to make them an ear warmer for the winter. Maybe you don't even live in a cold place. But honestly, for all of these ideas, you could just do whatever stitch you want. I recommend a half double crochet or double crochet because those are easy, quick working stitches. And if you're actually making gifts last minute, it's probably not the time to experiment with decorative stitches, which is what I usually recommend if you're working on something that's kind of boring. But if you're really just wanting to pump out some headbands, then stick with the regular stitch and it's still really special and practical and cute. Okay, we're still working with rectangles. I don't know if you could tell. Ear warmers, headbands, and now hand warmers, also just a rectangle. Now, I don't mean fingerless gloves, although you could do that, but that does involve crocheting a thumb, so working in the round and then like bunching it up like you would a beanie. But if you don't know how to do that, literally a rectangle and leave a hole for the thumb. And that's still super, super cute. I see tons of pictures like this on Pinterest, and again, any stitch. And I think sometimes when we think of fast gifts, ideally made out of chunky yarn, we don't think of wearables really, and it feels like something like a hand warmer that you can actually wear every single day in the winter, again, if you live in a cold place. We think that that's going to take a long time because you can actually wear it and not just like look at it, but it really doesn't. I have some crochet mittens that I made and they did not take me any time at all, and I was very much a beginner when I made them. And I did do a thumb and a mitten flap. So you could do all of that. But honestly, just these rectangles with a hole for the thumb, I think anyone would really appreciate that for Christmas. Next, still working with our rectangles, an AirPod / headphones case. Maybe even buy them some AirPods or some headphones if you feel like spending some money. I think these look really cute with this sort of like bungee t-shirt yarn that's a bit like tubular, especially in these bright colors like blue, yellow, pink. They look so fun, but still like minimalistic and kind of classic in a way. Classic if you like the Pinterest style. A laptop case is another thing that I think looks so good in this t-shirt yarn. I did talk about this in my last video, but literally just 2 rectangles. Just 2 rectangles, baby, in the size of their laptop. I wouldn't even do a little bit bigger than their laptop because obviously it's going to stretch. I would truly keep it to size of their laptop. You don't even have to add a closure because it can just be like a sleeve. But if you're feeling like it and you have the extra time, add a closure. But if not, it's fine. I feel like we all carry our laptops with us literally everywhere. So I think anyone would appreciate having a new laptop case. I made my own granny square laptop case and I already want one of these. We'll see. I have so many crochet projects that I want to do, so it's kind of just like when I get to it, after all my other gifts, I might replace that laptop case because I really like this bright blue one. Like, that's what I want. I want it in my life. Sticking with rectangles and squares, this might take you a bit longer and a bit more like creative effort, but I think making a pillowcase for like a decorative throw pillow could be a really cute idea, and you could even make it seasonal like these patterns. Maybe just make it really minimalistic, like cream background, green Christmas tree, make 2 of those rectangles, slap a little pillow into it. And these can be small pillows, like don't be overwhelmed. Don't hate on me for this recommendation. Decorative pillows tend to be kind of like, I don't know, like the size of your head. And if you're using a chunky yarn, I don't actually think that would take too long. Like, I know we're talking about last minute crochet gifts and I want you to not be stressed about it, but I also don't want you to like downplay how much you can do. And now that I've said this, I'm wondering if I should like make it my mission to make seasonal pillowcases because you could change them every season for yourself. This isn't really a gift idea anymore, but like that would be so cute. And it doesn't have to be tacky. Like, it doesn't even have to be a Christmas tree. It can be like a sort of Christmassy festive pattern, and same for other seasons. So now that I'm saying this, I kind of want to do it for my own apartment. But if you are going to make this as a last minute crochet gift, I highly recommend that you do actually buy them the pillow or cushion insert, because giving someone a gift where then they have to like buy something to complete the gift is kind of annoying. I mean, it's still really thoughtful, so it's not that big of a deal, but I think it would be more special if you gave it to them like properly completed. Crochet wallets. I've made one here. This was like the video I used to make it, but there are tons of different patterns, and if you don't want to play around with decorative stitches, just choose a stitch, make a rectangle, and then fold it. This is the rectangle, fold it like this, and then like this. Did that make sense? You don't have to add a zipper, you don't have to add a button, like it can just be, I guess, a bifold wallet, I think that's what it's called. And to make it extra gift-like, you could throw in a gift card to their favorite like coffee shop or clothing store or whatever it is, and or you could insert a little photo of you two together, maybe even like a little Polaroid. That would be so cute. Next, of course, placemats and coasters. And these can be either circles or squares/rectangles. You can play with different stitches, you can use scrap yarn, you can stick with one stitch, and if you're doing this, I don't think anyone would see it as too simple, but as crocheters we might be like, alright, that's like not a lot of work, maybe it won't feel like you're really giving a gift. You can go to a thrift store, charity shop, whatever it is that you call it, and get them like a really pretty thrifted plate, or a thrifted coffee/tea mug if they drink hot drinks, or maybe you get them like an iced coffee tumbler to put on top of the coaster. Make sure everything matches and is pretty, and I think that would be such a cute gift for people who care about like their dining setup being cute. Something that's literally the same thing as a coaster is a makeup scrubby. I mentioned this last year, and someone actually commented this idea on my most recent Crochet Christmas Gifts video, so shout out to them. I recommend using a cotton yarn for this because obviously they're going to be putting it on their skin, but you literally just crochet a circle. I will include some patterns here and in the Pinterest board, of course, but to make the gift extra special, you could include some makeup, maybe a makeup product that you've been wanting to try, or some like nice skincare that they'll actually use. In that same vein, which that person also reminded me of, is a soap saver. Anything mesh is going to be really good for a last minute project because you're mostly crocheting air and soap savers are no exception, especially because soap is small, so your mesh bag is going to be small. I don't know about you, but when I was a kid growing up, whenever we would go to like markets, my parents loved buying like artisanal handmade soap, and I've kind of gotten that gene from them. So if you know someone who needs an extra special spa day, maybe they need to take care of themselves a little bit more, or maybe they really like taking care of themselves already, a soap saver, some makeup scrubbies, and a nice handmade bar of soap from like a market or a small business could be the perfect gift idea. And if that sounds like too much, like you could literally just make any one of those things, and I think it's still a really thoughtful gift. Finally, keychains. This one's more personal, and I put it at the end because I feel like everyone says this, but to make it a bit more special and gift-like, I recommend doing like their favorite animal, or their favorite flower, or just like a heart to represent how much you love them. These can look really playful and like youthful, and I think that's a great thing if that's your style. But of course, if this person is more trendy, but you still want to make them a keychain, you could do like a fun shape in that bungee yarn or in like a really bright color to make it seem a bit more modern, I guess. And finally, ornaments. This definitely works a bit better as like a gift for a party that's happening before Christmas, because then they can hang it on their tree that year. But if there's someone that really loves decorating for the season, or they collect ornaments, I think it's fine even if you give it to them like on Christmas Day or after Christmas. You could use basically any of the ideas that I mentioned for keychains and just turn them into ornaments. Like instead of putting a key ring, you can just put a loop of yarn, maybe 2 loops to make it sturdier, and they can hang it on their tree. How perfect is that? And I'm a big fan of soft ornaments because they don't break when they fall. They're easier to store because they don't break, and I think just like they add this really vintage nostalgic charm, at least for me. And if you don't feel like messing with making like a cutesy little animal or something, you could literally just put a bunch of circles together, which I mentioned in my last video, and make this very like Christmassy ornament, which someone in the comments actually said that they made growing up, which warmed my heart, and it was really cool to see. Those are all of my last minute crochet Christmas gift ideas. I hope you found something that you liked. Please do leave any comments or questions or additional suggestions in the comments below because I love talking to people there, and you'll potentially even help someone who's looking for a little bit more inspiration, including me. I'm always looking for inspiration. It's like my hobby, my main hobby. That's all for me today. I'm gonna get back to work, back to crocheting. I'm almost finished with my first gift of the season, which I'm very happy about. There's going to be cozy vlogs coming up, little chatty videos, and maybe more gift ideas if people want more. Of course, it would mean the world to me if you subscribe to join this wholesome little community. As always, thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!